Right.
Kayvon, why don't you tell us all about it?
This whole episode segues perfectly kind of, from one person's, point of view to the other. But I currently wrote an article for VT.com, so check it out there. It's satirical, it's fun, it's an op-ed, but at the same time, it's based on truth. And a man is indeed suing Facebook, Meta, and 27 women for defaming, slander, and libel, claiming that they illegally published his personal details on the Facebook private group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? Now, if you've never heard of this, Are We Dating the Same Guy is in every major city. You might all be on it. You won't know.
I can guarantee you I am not. Actually, I'm not on it. I don't know how, but the grace of God, I'm not on it.
Well, you keep giving women different names every time.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Chicago, Miami, LA, and these girls are on there. Not a few women, 3.5 million women in dating age between 18 to about 44 years old, I would imagine, are on there. And it's kind of, for some of them, it's entertainment, but some of them are actually airing grievances, and the man has no way to defend himself. So imagine you went on a date with a girl and it didn't go well. That would probably be like 80% of dates. You either
maybe for you, bro.
never talk to a girl again, or you end up marrying her, right? So most guys go on a date, 1, 2, 3 dates, and it doesn't work out. That's very possible. How would you like to know there's a woman now online with your photo going, I don't want to give his full name, but his name's Brady. And then they describe, he does comedy, he wears jean jackets.
Why would it be me?
You just keep going on and on. And then then other women jump in. Oh, he looks like a stalker. He does give me creepy
Jesus,
vibes.
Brady.
He does look.
He's going off my profile on Hinge.
Well, some of the things that were written were he was lame, the sex was unremarkable,
That's
he
not
didn't
true.
take me to the right restaurant, he ghosted me, his pee-pee was too small, and that's just when I looked up my name. Then we come to find out that this guy was getting harassed at work because enough women had seen it. His name is Nico D'Ambrosio. He's an Italian, taking one for the team. He's suing the women for $75,000 total, which I thought was kind of a low amount. Because if you can get Meta on the line, go for the million, the billion, whatever you can do.
This king does not know his worth.
Yeah, he doesn't know. This king doesn't know his worth.
They're bringing out King now.
The main thing that he wants to do, he claims, is just stop men from getting harassed and bullied and being taken advantage of and defamed.
Is that him?
By a group of faceless women. And this is him. He looks like an Italian guy. He's got some muscles. He's got shoulders.
Why does it look like a MySpace profile picture?
It does. It's very old.
Yeah.
Like
Who's
Tom.
the ghost in the back?
Maybe he like showed up to this date and he's like 60 now. I kind of understand.
Yeah,
It looks like a very old picture.
Well, my question is, as a group, I mean, would you like to go on a date? You probably paid for the woman. You probably, you probably approached her, got her number, took her somewhere, and now she's dogging you because maybe she's a vegetarian. You took her, or maybe during the conversation you said you like Andrew Tate. That's a big one for women. Women made a list of 19 things they should never do, so they might dog you for taking them to Cheesecake Factory or bowling. Or to
that
the movies.
free dinner he got for me
I'm
wasn't
curious
that.
though, Kayvon, is what the statistic is of these chicks being, I don't know, OnlyFans.
Dude, that's
You know
a
what I'm
fair
saying?
point. And I'll say that, like, I'm not a relationship expert. I don't want to be like the unmarried guy giving advice, but I'm just going to say this. Like, I understand that if you're in a relationship with someone, you love them and you got money, I could understand her being like, he never takes me anywhere fancy, that makes me sad. But what if it's a first date and you don't know this person and you're just trying to see if you're compatible?
I'm thinking of the coffee shop down the street.
No, I'm serious. I think that's a good first date. Let's get to know, no pressure. Let's get to know each
Then we
other.
get
It's
you
not a whole thing.
cheesecake. Yeah, baby
exactly.
steps.
And if you are the right woman for me, I'll throw money down on the table to take you somewhere nice. But like, I don't know you.
Yeah, you're a stranger. Stranger
Of course,
danger.
cheesecake was a joke, just for all the women out there.
Well, one of the interesting things was his own profile, and as you saw his photo, it seems like a decent, just like any other guy. One girl said he had sex with me and then ghosted me, never talked to me again after that.
Oh my
so that's
gosh.
a huge crime. And another girl said, I didn't even go on a second date because he seemed like a clingy stalker. So on one end, he's getting in their pants. The other end, he's a psycho stalker. So it's just a little
You're
confusing.
saying you don't know if it's true or not, basically.
You don't know what's true.
This is damages, though. Like, realistically,
Totally.
it's a bunch of women that you never were going to respond to, right? If all the complaints in there are, oh, well, he sucks, he didn't text me back. And it's like, well, okay, what does he care?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm the judge, I'm going, buddy, what do you care about this? Like, did you lose your job? Like, if it hurt his career, right? If word got back to his job and he ends up then I could see having some sort of argument for damages but hurtsy feelings on the internet.
I
Like,
think
who
it's
gives a
going to be
shit?
hard for him to prove there are any damages. I don't see him winning this case, although it does suck to take a girl on a date and know you're being bashed. Usually if a girl tells her roommate or best friend, oh, I hate this guy, that's fine. We've done that with women before, but to go on a public platform that's private to women only. And I think the answer is counterintelligence. We create female profiles. We go in and say, I don't want to date Brady anymore. His penis was way too big for me, and he made way too much money, and he spent way too much on a first date.
I'll write
I was
that for you,
very
Brady, if you need me
uncomfortable.
to,
So
but-
Brady, I'm just giving you, and if you could make one for me, of
course.
we could help each other out.
Well, here's what I would do
Big
if I was
guy
him.
crew,
I would,
big crew.
if I was this dude, I would, go all out warfare and, make like capitalize on those things. Like start a YouTube channel and like just start blasting all these. Like, yeah, this chick says this about me, but actually, this is how she was.
Well,
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Also,
Ruthless.
It's complicated in the sense of like, okay, the whole thing's a mess. I can understand if they're lying about it. But like, realistically, dude, if you have sex with someone and then ghost them and all that happens is some people are talking shit about you on the internet, you got off easy. That's such a horrible thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
And then be like, she said a mean thing about me on Facebook. Oh no. It's like,
Get over
dude,
it, Troy.
Yeah, get over yourself.
Yeah, and is it really this big viral thing though? That's crazy to me. That, like with all things going on in the world, with how like overwhelming the news cycle is, that is this really like sweeping like the area this guy's from where everybody knows about it now? Or is this,
Yes,
like,
because people
Dude,
are
he
bored.
picked a good story. Let it be.
No, there's
no, I'm
groups-
saying like from this guy's perspective, like how much is this like impacting him? I'm
I
wondering.
mean, it's probably affecting his ability to date. He's probably on the dating profiles, and women do go on there more and more, 3.5 million, and before they'll go on a date with a guy. Then you have to justify yourself before you've ever met this person. Whereas normally a first date is we're starting from scratch. There's a group of guys called MGTOWs, MGTOW, men going their own way. They've decided they've had enough of this. They're just gonna stay home, watch the porn, play video games, and
So
not even
nerds.
deal with
Listen,
women.
man, I tried to
Nerds is
MGTOW.
what you just
I tried to
described.
MGTOW and the women followed me.
I was gonna say, am I MGTOW, dude?
You're a MGTOW now.
Now I'm never gonna not hear that.
It's hilarious. It's so sad, but there's this great C.S. Lewis quote. Because here's the thing: gossiping is very evil. You shouldn't like having sex outside of marriages too. What C.S. Lewis says is it was often said that during World War II, loose talk caused. Loose
lips sink ships.
Loose talk costs lives, and he said, "Well, loose lives cause talk."
Oh, loose lives cost talk. I get that. I like that.
Yeah, it's like sometimes people talking shit about you, and it's kind of your fault. Like,
So there are men who have been disenfranchised with the women they've been dating, and they might have gone a little further. They would post a photo of her naked.
That's
and
evil.
say,
Yeah,
"I
that's
dated
porn. I
this
mean,
girl."
that's,
That's
like,
called
criminal.
revenge porn.
Yeah.
The punishment for that is a misdemeanor in half the states, a felony in the other half. It could be up to 11 years in prison, $300,000 in fines for sharing personal photos and things about a woman you dated. I wonder if a smaller fine might help women kind of rein it in a little bit.
Oh,
Maybe
you can't even suggest that.
Maybe a month in jail and some community service. And I don't know if this guy's going to win $75,000, but he might be willing to settle for some oral compensation.
You sound like you should be defending him in a court of law.
Yeah.
My client will take.
27 women. My client will accept some other favors.
like it should probably be defamation or something at the very least, because I think when it comes to like sexual assault, false allegations, I think that should be an equal punishment to like an actual sexual assault case. Like if
Agreed.
a girl like the Trevor Bauer situation, that girl should be like tried and
Right.
put to jail like as if she committed sexual
Yeah,
assault.
you can't
I would
compare
agree with
mean
you.
words to revenge porn.
No, I'm not.
Agreed.
I'm not saying it's synonymous, but I'm saying the guy should probably be able to get a defamation lawsuit or something.
I
since-
should add that some of the women are taking screenshots of conversation they had and sharing it. And in some states, you're not supposed to share private conversations you thought were one-on-one. It's kind of like a phone call. If I record you on
One-party
a phone
consent laws.
call,
Yeah, you're
Well,
right.
what you should do if you're going to start like to circumvent this and try and bring this organization down, you should start a website that warns men about the women that are posting on those websites.
Right.
Because if I'm not a single guy, I've been in a relationship for a long time, but if I were to be, if I was to be on Facebook and I see that, oh, I'm about to go out with Melody and, oh, let me check KVonWomanDestroyer.com. And there's like a photo on there, and like, look at what this woman posted on Facebook. I go, that's enough. I don't need to go be with this person because look, she's gonna put me on blast if I do something wrong. But she also has no problem sharing intimate conversations with another person, with the world.
we have a major problem here because if men did that, made a page dogging women, we would all get dogged by the Taylor Swifties and the crew. But then other men would be like, what are you doing, bro? So we're policing ourselves, and then they're just running rampant.
You are so traumatized by the Swifties.
I am. I was attacked. I was personally attacked by Swifties.
I've been attacked myself.
I call them Swiffers.
Never again. Never again. They're aggressive as.
So we're all pro Swift. From
Well, yeah,
now
they're-
on.
We all
Yeah.
love Taylor Swift.
Wow, that's how it works. They bully you online into.
That
Yeah.
leads me into my. No, I'm just joking.
Nice fan base you got here. Shame if you lose it over Taylor Swift memes.
Is everybody here single? Am I
Yeah,
the only
I
one
am.
that's okay? All right. Well, that's so I don't have to
I
worry
didn't
about
mean
that.
to be. But that's another story.
You're out of the whole loop. So
I've been with a woman for so long that the like dating apps were never. So I don't like. I can't imagine how difficult it is on both sides
Well,
of the
dude,
spectrum
men and women
now.
just hate each other now.
Yeah.
And because it becomes so superficial, I think dating apps are a huge problem because it becomes like to get to know somebody. The last time I went on a date, I met a girl that was recommended. It's my wife. We met. She was recommended to me by people she knew at work. We went out. We had a conversation together. We shared a meal. We decided to schedule a second date. And the second date, I was even more forward to looking toward. Like I was so excited for that second date because I had such a good time on the first one. She was like, "Oh, okay." I'll go with this." But
You
we
wore
ended
her
up,
down.
you know, we've been together for a long time. I love her to death. I can't imagine what it's like to be judged by just your photo these days. And it goes both ways. Guys are doing it to women, and women are doing it to men, where it's literally not even reading anything about no. Like, how do you ever develop a meaningful relationship with someone just based on superficiality?
Especially with the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, especially the women are so complicated. There's this study, it was an OkCupid study that was published a while ago, and what they found is when you just show men and women pictures of each other, men rate half the women above average, half below. Makes sense, math, we're good at it. Women rate 20% of men as above average and 80% of men below average. And a lot of people will go, that's such a black pill, women are so picky about men, and it's true, women are very picky about men compared to the way men are about women, at least with respect to base attraction. But to boil female attraction to a man down to a picture is one of the dumbest things I could possibly imagine. Like, for women, it's stuff like, you know, how he smells, the way he moves, the way he enunciates and talks. They're so intricate that as a man, to be judged on a platform where all the woman gets is a picture really does put you at a very bizarre disadvantage because women are so much more driven by their interest and personality than men are.
Well, there's a man that's being dogged right now. He asked the girl out from the app, found out about her, scheduled a time to meet with her. All this is a process. This takes a long time, a lot of effort. Finally, they agreed. They picked a place. He took her, and then when it was time to pay, he said, "Hey, since we're equal, I guess we should split this." And he's getting dogged on these sites too because they're like, "What kind of guy would ask? You asked her out." And he's like, "Yeah, but I believe in equality." We talked about our careers. We made similar amounts. We both don't know each other, so he wanted to split the bill.
Yeah, wouldn't the liberals think it's sexist for him to assume that he should pay the full bill?
Exactly.
But,
I think confusion is the goal, and we're
That's right.
men and women
they're
are not getting
confused.
along anymore. We don't know what's going. We don't know who's the boss, who isn't, who should ask who's in charge, and that's why we retreat.
Just
to
learn from me. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Sorry, you're right. Yes, you're right. I was wrong.
And
Yes,
then you
dear.
go, I'll be in the garage.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, it's very, and you know what's interesting? My 14-year-old is finally at the age where he's like starting to show interest in girls, like where he's telling me about them, which means they're serious. And it's cool because it's not dating apps. Like there's that weird part where you become like 19, 20, 21, where you get into this dating app craze, and personality no longer matters, it's only looks. Whereas for my son's at a very innocent stage where he's like, "I'm gonna take flowers to this girl, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Don't do it in front of your friends, they'll make fun of you." But do it. Like, yeah, absolutely do it, but don't let anybody say it. But it's still cute for them. It's still like, so there is like hope. Somewhere along that line, that hope for humanity falls apart. I feel like it's in your mid-20s.
School was awesome because there was like 100 cute girls at school. You could strike out many times, and now you get, we're here working here. If you work in valuetainment, at least 18 hours a day you're working. So you just got to swipe a few times, and that's all you got.
Or look around what you're working.
Not me.
I thought you said Kelly.
I want to add this too. Even though I laid out my sympathies, I do think it's really evil and bad for people to have sex outside of marriage. The way these apps work is the women all gravitate towards like the top 5% of men on the app, and then 95% of the men there never get a date. And then the women are like shocked and horrified when that top 5% are dating all of the other women. They're all throwing themselves at the same guy. So if you're all throwing yourself at the same guy, like, yeah, it's wrong for him to cheat 100%. It's wrong for him to do that, but that is just what's going to happen with that kind of a system. So, like, go for the guys who are a little lower on the tier and
have them all to yourself.
Yeah, that's right.